Well, as promised, here's the finished product. See that beautiful succulent chicken with cheese, mushroom, orzo, leeks, tarragon. Oh my goodness, that is just delicious the way it looks. Can't wait to get started in that. Now, as I promised in the previous video, I said I'm going to be trying the crispy chicken with mushroom and tarragon orzo. Here's the ingredient list. Took about 45 minutes for me to make this for 4 people. So that looks like a lot of food to me, and we're going to enjoy. So basically what we did was roasted the chicken, and the amount of chicken that was used was 640 grams of chicken thighs with the skin on but boneless. Okay, then we also had, let's get really nice and close and have a look at this. For 2 people it's 240 grams of chestnut mushrooms, 1 chicken stock cube, 1 garlic clove, and I'll see if I'm getting in a little bit closer, 150 grams of orzo pasta, 1 leek, 5 grams of tarragon, 80 grams of mature cheddar. And if you want to do it for 4 people, you just double those portions up. So basically what was done, you wash the chicken if you want to, but according to hygiene and health and safety, you're not supposed to wash chicken anymore. So the heat alone will cook it, kill any bacteria. So you basically put the chicken in, season it up with salt and pepper and whatever seasoning you want to use in addition to that. Put it in the oven and cook that down until it's nice, brown and crispy, and the skin is looking really nice. You take that oven, leave that at the side to cool, and then we go with the orzo. The orzo pasta gets put into the oven-proof container, and then you just line that in the bottom of the pan. You make a stock, a chicken stock. If it's for 4 people, it's going to be 800 mils of chicken stock. Okay, and then you chop up your leeks into slices, chop up the tarragon, grate the cheese, and can have all that ready. And you put the leeks, and what else did I put in there? Oh yes, and the chestnut mushrooms. You can either break the mushrooms up or chop them up, and then you put that in with the orzo and pour over all of that the stock. Then you put it in the oven for about 25 minutes, and then it should be cooked by then. You don't want it too soft or too hard, but it's just perfect then. Then you bring it out of the oven like I've done here, and I've put it on the side. And the warm chicken, before you do that, you put the grated cheese into the warm orzo and leek mixture, and then you just mix it up and it gets all lovely and creamy. Then after that, you can also mix in a bit of tarragon, but keep some on the side because you'll want to use some of the tarragon just as a garnish really. And then you place the chicken on top, and it's literally ready to eat, and we're ready to go. So don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to like. Thank you. Bye. And I have to say that this Gousto review, it looks almost exactly like the picture. Would you not agree? Only they've put that one in a plate, but I think it looks almost the same. And I've already tasted some and it tastes gorgeous. So every ingredient was there in the box which was provided. I didn't have to shop for it, so I literally got all the ingredients and cooked it exactly according to the recipe. And the recipe is on the back with all the instructions. Let's just put that there. All the instructions are quite clear on the back here, and they just go through step 1, 2, 3. And you can follow those steps, but I can't be bothered to do all that. I just knew the chicken, before I even started, I knew I'm going to have to cook this chicken, put that aside, and then the rest of it put in the oven. So there you have it. So bye. Like and subscribe. Enjoy. Hi, welcome back. Now I've managed to cook my first meal, and I'm also onto the second meal here. As promised in the first video, I said I would explain and tell you. I mean, this food is really, really delicious. Mwah. Now, if you remember, I said I was going to cook the paprika chicken with tomato and coconut dal, and I just need, that almost looks like it. It's just that my husband couldn't wait. He had to have some, and I haven't even garnished it yet. Now, doesn't that look really nice? I've put the garnish on, which is coriander sprinkled on top. I also put some coriander inside as well, so that's been cooked inside to give the really lovely flavour. So back to the recipe. As I was saying before, you need, if you're doing it for two, this is just for two people, you need one brown, why is this not focusing? One brown onion, 2 garlic cloves, 1 teaspoon ground turmeric, 50 grams solid coconut cream, 1 teaspoon of nigella seeds, 1 tablespoon of curry powder, 100 grams of lentils, they're the orange lentils, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 chicken stock cube, and then plum tomatoes, 125 grams of baby plum tomatoes. You also need 2 teaspoons of ground paprika and 1 large British chicken breast fillet, which has been cut up, and also 5 grams of coriander and 2 mini coriander naan breads. Now, as I said before, I tend not to follow instructions. I just do it how I want. Basically, I cut open the packet of chicken, the chicken breasts, cut them into bite-sized pieces, and then threw those into a bowl and got the nigella seeds and the paprika, rubbed that into the chicken really well. In the meantime, put some oil on in this particular pot that I'm showing you here, and then when it was hot, toss the chicken into it until it was brown and really, really tasty. You need to put a bit of salt on it as well to taste. And then put that aside, and as you can see on the instructions, it first of all says that you should chop up the onions and the grated garlic, and I kind of didn't really do that, but I did that towards the end. You need to make the vegetable stock, and you add the stock to the caramelized, I think they call them caramelized onions, when they're all nice and soft and shiny. And it's a vegetable stock, and also you put this coconut cream mixed in with boiling water, and that makes your stock. Okay. And then when you have the chicken, I did that because I find that's really tedious doing that, but the chicken, then once that was cooked, I put that aside, and I know that's ready. It's a little bit like what I'm doing with here. Gosh, these are a little bit getting a bit brown now, but I'm just cooking another meal. I just want to make sure that I've got everything prepared, because what I hate doing is actually standing and doing all the cooking all at in one go. So I like usually doing 2 meals at the same time, more or less. But because of the filming, it just takes a little bit longer. But there you go. That's nice. We're just browning off that chicken. And this is the recipe for, I think this, oh yes, this is a quick shredded hoisin chicken wraps, which I'll show you here. And that's what I'm going to be making in a minute. I'm going to be going out And when I come back, I want to have a try of this little baby and this one here. So I'm just giving this one just a bit of a stir. I just had it nice and pretty for you lot to see all the garnish. And that's wonderful. There, that looks like a really hearty meal with the chicken for your family. So I really hope you enjoy. Now, just make sure, checking on this chicken that it's actually not burning. Oh, that's fine. So going back to the paprika chicken, which is what I'm showing you now, with tomato and coconut dal. So when you've caramelised the onions and you kind of like turn the heat down a little bit, you put the, you know, the yellow colouring that's in here, the turmeric. So if you go back to the ingredients list, the turmeric, I think it was, let's just have a look. Just trying to see on the recipe card. Yeah, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric. Now remember, I'm cooking for 4, not for 2, and that's why there's a lot more. So sprinkle the turmeric on top of the onions and then stir that in, and it gives it that lovely, lovely yellow colour. Okay, what you can see here in the dish. And then you chop up garlic, and you put the garlic also into the onion and the turmeric mix, and wait for the flavour to come out and for the aroma, that beautiful aroma that comes up. Once that's up, then it says here that you can add a pinch of sugar if you want to, but I didn't bother with all the sugar, because as far as I'm concerned, sugar is the demon of the world. Puts on your waistline and everything, doesn't it? And if you don't need to use it, don't use it. And then that's when you put the stock in. So you put the vegetable and coconut cream stock into the onions, mix it all nice. It smells gorgeous when you do it. Really, excuse the coughing. Really, really nice. And then you kind of like wait for, you know, mix that in really well. In the meantime, chop up your onions. You just need to, not onions, your tomatoes, cut those up in halves, and then they'll be ready to throw in as well as in the garnish. And from that, I think, oh, what about the lentils? Oh, I forgot the lentils, the orange lentils. You put that in with the onions, with the turmeric, with the vegetable stock and coconut oil, coconut cream stock. And then you sprinkle on the lentils, and you've got to cook that down. So it's quite watery to begin with, but then you've got to reduce it. Just keep cooking it until it gets thick, just like this is here. Okay? Just nice and thick consistency like this is. Can you see? Absolutely beautiful. Really delicious. My husband, he's just finished eating his. He's come back in, chucked his plate in the dishwasher. But he's loving that. I noticed his face had completely changed, and a big smile. Now the hunger's gone. Right then. So then once it starts to get thick, you can put the tomatoes in. And if you're doing it for a party or anything like that, you might want to save a few tomatoes on top just to make it look all nice and garnished on top, with the coriander as well, as you saw earlier on when I threw the coriander in. I might throw a bit more because I love coriander. There you go, a bit of a sprinkle of that on there. A bit more. Yeah, and that's ready to serve basically. And you just place the chicken. I mean, you could leave it as vegan, which I normally do for myself, but you can add the chicken in for the rest of your family if they're not vegan. Okay? But that's such a beautiful, beautiful meal. And then you just serve that with some lovely warm naan bread. You can add a little butter to it, to the naan bread, to soften it and make it really tasty. So there you have it really, and I'll let you know how we get on with the rest of this chicken here. So there you have it, paprika chicken with tomato and coconut dal. Beautiful. Courtesy of Gousto and courtesy of my kitchen. Thank you so much. Enjoy. Don't forget to like or subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.